On Friday, we showed you the video from Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. The U.S. Navy had launched a strike on suspected drug smuggling boats off the coast of Venezuela. This is the fourth such strike against what Hegseth calls narco-terrorists. It's part of the Trump administration's fight against cartels and drug smugglers. Technology is changing the way wars are fought. One company hopes to revolutionize the battlefield by land, air, and sea, making it very cheap. Earlier, I spoke with CEO of Scientific Systems, Kunal Mehra. Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you, Greta. It's a pleasure to be on.
Okay, tell me about your drones.
So my company, Scientific Systems, we're a leading provider of what we call affordable mass. And affordable mass is really low-cost, swarms of low-cost drones in mass numbers that we can use to overwhelm our adversaries. And we do this in every domain, literally from the seafloor to space. And this capability is all entirely enabled by low-cost hardware that's given military capability through advanced software that's enabled by artificial intelligence and autonomy. So what you're seeing over here on this,
go ahead.
What you're seeing over here in this video is actually a picture of our boat VENOM being manufactured by our partners Tideman Marine. And VENOM is a really innovative, low-cost unmanned surface vessel that's produced out of this very tough, rigid plastic called high-density polyethylene. And we pair that with a 300 horsepower diesel engine, and this system is ready to go. We can deploy it in mass numbers for the U.S. military and our allies globally. And you can see it in operations right over here on the water.
Well, I take it one of the huge advantages is that missiles are pretty expensive. How much is one of those for the military? Can you give me some sort of price idea?
Yeah, so it obviously depends on the configuration and the specific systems on, but this is a very low-cost system. It's, less than 1% of the cost of a regular Navy warship. I mean, certainly well under $1 million, and in some cases, just a few $100,000.
How fast can you produce them?
We could produce several hundred of these boats in a year. Our partners already got the production capacity in place, and they've got multiple manufacturing facilities right here in the U.S.
And I take it they're reusable. Well, I mean, that whatever they do, or are they not reusable?
No, they're absolutely reusable. I mean, as a matter of fact, these boats just use regular diesel fuel, which the Navy loves because it's not very flammable, and they keep it on most of their warships at sea. But these systems can be deployed, recovered, and just reused over and over again. And because of the plastic hull that we're using, they require really minimal maintenance. So in military operations where you're operating in very austere environments, this material is perfect. It requires very little maintenance.
I suspect, and I don't know what the intended use is by anybody, but I suspect that if you were trying to get drug cartels that are running drugs to the United States, that this would be a safer way to address that and a cheaper way to address it than to have the Coast Guard go up into a boat and question what they're doing, assuming that we verify that they're up to no good. But I assume that it's safer and cheaper.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the first problem is, as you know, so many of the drugs infecting our country come from South America. And so they come through the Caribbean basin. It's just an absolutely enormous area. How do you even just find these boats? That alone is a huge problem. And, our military doesn't have enough warships, enough boats. The Coast Guard doesn't have enough boats or enough helicopters to search these broad areas for these, narco traffickers transiting drugs across the oceans. So first and foremost, VENOM can just be used in large numbers to, patrol huge areas along our coastline, identify these, suspicious assets, and then enable the military to have direct, video right on these vessels, and then eventually do something about it if they want to. So VENOM can be armed. It could be used to interdict these drug boats directly, or it could be used to, call for a Coast Guard manned asset to come in and take action directly.
One last question. How big a boat can these drones take on?
Well, that just depends on, what kind of payload we put on these. So if you put an explosive on, it could take on a very large boat. But really, VENOM today is a 9-meter boat. We can produce this in smaller or larger hulls, depending on what the requirement is from the Navy. But what I should really tout here is it's really a collaborative capability. So VENOM's powered by our innovative software that we call collaborative mission autonomy. And so it's not just a one specific VENOM that is used to offset the adversary. We can coordinate 8 to 10 of these vessels to come and take on an enemy boat, at multiple angles to really overwhelm the adversary's defenses. And so when you think of it from that perspective, it really becomes this huge enabling capability. And nobody's demonstrated the power of this better than the Ukrainians and how they've been able to use these AI-powered drones to push back the Russian Navy.
Yes, indeed, Ukraine has used a lot of drones. Kunal Mehra, thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure. Thanks so much.